Alright, welcome back to another packet tracer video. This is 343, placing wireless access points. So what we have is a office building with 2 access points, and we have a wireless PC here that can connect and figure out where the best place is to put the access points. We can move our wireless PC around to see where it gets the best signals. Another thing we want to do is minimize the amount of wireless access that's available outside the building, just for security reasons. It'd be better to keep everything as close to inside the building as you can. So first we will conduct a little wireless site survey, and we can go to our wireless PC desktop and look at the PC wireless, and you can see we've connected to an access point. If we press connect, we can refresh. There you go. So right now the access point 1 has an 83% signal, access point 2 is 65. Alright, so now we can look at the layout, look at the physical workspace here of our corporate office. And if we zoom out, we see this one is the wireless PC here, an access point in the corner of the building here, and then one in the next office. So you can see just by looking at that, you've got quite a bit of the building that's not covered by any access points. So you'll notice that if we move it around the office, let's see, we move it down here and look at it again, and we see we're at 8% on number 1 and 26% on number 2. So you can see how moving it out of the range will affect it. So if you put it over here, it's probably only going to be able to connect to access point 2. And we're at 10% there. So you can see how that works. So after moving it around, if somebody works in this office over here and they want to connect to the network, we've got no association with access point. If we try to refresh this to see networks, there's none. There's nothing there. There's no access there at all. So that's definitely not going to work out. Alright, so now we want to relocate the access points to their optimal locations. We want to make sure that all areas inside the building have wireless coverage and outside coverage is minimalized. And then we can move the computer around and check to see if it can get access everywhere. So my first thought is to kind of split them up through the middle here. I don't think there's any way that could be better. If you do it like this, you can see there's the tiniest little gaps in the corners, and then there is a little bit on each edge of the building that overlaps. But the more you bring these in to keep them from overlapping, you're losing signal. The signal's pretty poor out here, and then this is no signal at all on the outside. So if you were to do, just move this down here for a second to look at doing 1. If you did do 1, it's definitely possible if you're making sure everyone's computers are in this corner of the office. That would really minimize the network being outside of the office. but it's kind of difficult. You'd be kind of strained if your computer was right here. If we do that, we can look at, see what kind of a signal we're getting. So all the way on the edge we're getting 8%, and that would be kind of everybody, it'd be all around this edge, which isn't great coverage for them. So if we move it back to where I had them, something like this, and then we can look at that PC again. And now we're at 63%, so that's much better for them to be able to use the network in that location. So there's only a couple places on the very edge where you could be in this spot here. And so there is no coverage right there. But it really cuts down on the amount of empty spaces a lot better than when we just had one. So if you just move your computer right up here, you can see we're at 8 and 6%, which isn't great, but you always have the option of being able to move it in and getting a little bit better reception there. So you got 50% on access point 2 there. So for me, that looks like the best way to go. There's a little bit overlapping on the ends of the building, but that's a sacrifice you got to make so everybody can be connected at pretty much any point in their office. There's only a few tiny spots where you can't access, but that's kind of the best of both worlds there. So there you go. That is a little bit about placing wireless access points. Thank you very much for watching.